Hey, this is Tony Soprano, and you're listening to Jersey Boyz Podcast with your hosts, Dave Sturchio and the Ernst Boys. I mean, I could give a shit about the Cowboys. We're in New Jersey. These guys got balls being Cowboys fans in Jersey. Anyways, enjoy. Well, whatever.
How about this, Cowboys?
Cowboys Nation, good afternoon. Hope everybody's enjoying the holidays.
Anybody out there?
Yeah, right. To give you,
I love the stadium. The two. No one's in the stadium right now.
no one's in the stadium. And to give you a better outlook of, to give you a better idea of how things are going on this Jersey Boyz Podcast, Dallas Cowboys Podcast, Christmas edition. I am wearing my Yankees hat and my Knicks hoodie. So that's to give you an indication of how things are going out there in Cowboy world. It's Dave Sturchio. It is America's fan, Keith Ernst, the Grinch in the building. And, of course, Brett on assignment. He said he doesn't want to freaking talk about the game anyway.
He's not on assignment. Yeah, no, he bounced on us. I know exactly where he is right now. He just doesn't want to do it. He's a quitter.
Really?
Unlike us.
Wow. I mean, look, we're dedicated fans. You know what I mean? So,
this is the best time. This is what I want to talk about now. This is when Cowboy fans need you.
They absolutely do.
Not,
and they
when
need
not when we're on top of the world, which we haven't been in 30 years, but you get what I'm saying.
No, I mean, I felt on top of the world a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I know you did. You were a little searching pretty hard. But.
Well, listen, man, I was like, first of all, I went to Vegas for the one game, right? And then you come back and you down 21-0 to the Eagles. You come back, you win that game. You're like, oh, okay. And then like the next week, it's Thanksgiving. You're like, oh man, when the Chiefs, I don't know, it's Mahomes. And then you win that game. You're like, dude, we're untouchable.
You know what I realized watching our team against McCarthy, watching Herbert just dice us up, watching Kansas City really did suck this year. Like, they're not a good team this year at all. For Mahomes to perform the way he did, he got outperformed by Brissett. He got outperformed by McCarthy, by Russell Wilson. Like, the Chiefs just are not a good team, shockingly. I know we were like, oh, wow, we beat them. Oh, wow. But they're just not good this year, obviously.
Yeah, I mean,
I
mean, no, I agree, but I won't say that publicly. I'm going to ride this wave of beating the Chiefs on Thanksgiving until the season's over, and then we'll talk about it. But, yeah, I mean, the Chiefs, obviously, they're not a good constructed team. They had a lot of injuries. They were dealing with, like, Rashee Rice out for a while, and then once he came back, and now this guy, Hollywood Brown, goes down. They have no running game whatsoever, so they got some things to address. As far as the Cowboys are concerned, yes, another loss on Sunday, improving their record to what the hell are I 6-8-1 right now. And
isn't that crazy, Sturch, that if we would have beat Minnesota, right, and we would have beat the Chargers, we'd be a half game behind Green Bay right now
for the final wild card. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how that worked out
at all. So I don't even want to talk that. Like we're we're abysmal.
You know what's crazy though? Like
despicable, and it's one of the worst things I've ever experienced as a Dallas Cowboy fan. And I said this in a text that I've never seen such a disparity. I think definitely on the Dallas Cowboys between the offense and the defense, but I don't even know in the NFL where you have 2,000-yard receivers, you have a 1,000-yard rusher, you have a 4,000-yard throwing quarterback,
passer,
and you not only you're eliminated 3 games fucking from the end of the season because of your defense. I don't know if I've ever seen that. I really don't. I don't. Like, I'm going back to the 80s. And obviously, you know how I am. I don't Google. I try to do it up here before I Google, and I can't think of such a huge gap in between such a good to great offense to a shittier defense. It's just, I don't know. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
What about 07? I'm trying to think of our defense back then.
They were great.
They were
the Giants. They didn't play well against the Giants in the playoffs, but overall, we were pretty. That's one of the most balanced teams we had. But they
in 2014 was good too. It was more like a bend but don't break defense, and they made plays.
Bro, one of the best defenses I think we had, and it sucks, it was 2015. Now it was after our 14th season when Romo went down against the Eagles. We were 2-0, and Brandon Weeden came in. He sucked. That defense was good, bro. That defense was shutting everybody down, kept us in every game, but we didn't have a quarterback that could score, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you look at this, it's so hard because it's like you got guys like, look, in the NFL, if you're a teammate of somebody, you got to keep it as classy as humanly possible. But like, imagine if you're Dak Prescott right now and you're in your 10th season in the NFL and you've gone through the ringer of bad seasons, injuries, this, that, and the third, 12-5s, blowing in the playoffs, all the bad things that have happened at Dallas. And then you come out and you acquire a guy like George Pickens and you have this loaded offense and you're sitting here staring at Christmas week, 6-8-1 because our defense just can't get a stop throughout the whole course of the year. Like, that's got to weigh on his shoulder. I know he's not going to come out and say like, oh, look, man, the fucking defense stinks, right? He's not going to come out and say that. Nobody is. Nobody should. There might be people out there that do that, but I just don't think he would be one of them. I look at this Cowboys team and I'm like, man, you look at the bad losses, right? And they were more or less in the beginning of the season that, the Cardinals loss. And then, just a couple of the ones that were like, come on, you're like, and then like, again, the clock operator in the Green Bay game, you don't hit that switch too fast. That's a win, right? So it's like, because they had 1 second left. So it's like, you look at these games that they should have won, right? And you look at the games that we did win and I'm like, you probably should have lost that game. The Giants one, I think off the top of my head, like that was back and forth, a lot of offense, zero defense from any team. So this year in particular, Keith, was one of the ones that were just like, you can pinpoint and you can fall on the defense. And I don't remember a game where we're sitting there like, man, Dak just threw this one away. I didn't think it happened this year.
Well, you know what pisses me off is I was reading because I read the grades from CBS Sportsline. You ever read the grades after the NFL?
Yep.
And they gave us a C, which I think is fair, but they're like, oh, as well as the offense played in the first half, they produced no points in the second half. And it's like, do you realize like how an offense works? It's like we were forced to go for it on 4th down twice in their territory because our defense sucks so bad. Like maybe we would have been able to kick a field goal there. Maybe the play selection would be different, but because our defense cannot stop fucking anything. It's insane. Did you see that everyone listening, listen to this real quick. So the San Diego Chargers, they had 3 drives in the first half, 3 touchdowns, 8 the clock up, 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. They haven't had that in 10 years. The Chargers, they haven't accomplished that feat in 10 years. But guess what? They do it against us. Of course they do. Against one of the worst defenses I've ever seen. A Barfalus needs to go. All right. Sorry.
So the big change this week, there's a couple minuscule changes for the defense going into the week. And obviously they start talking about Eberflus moving up to the booth, better vantage point, better. And to me, I'm like, Shoddy just doesn't want to be around this guy anymore. Right? He just doesn't want to, Shoddy's going to wind up punching him in the face. And so he's like, let's move you to the booth. You'll get a good bird's eye view and this, that, and the third. I'm like, all right, fine. And then you get Diggs back, right? We already know about Bland. He's got foot surgery coming again, or maybe he did it already. I forget. Yeah. But like Diggs coming back, you're like, okay, we'll see what we got there. Dude, it was just as bad as any other performance out of Diggs. And if he's just not right, fine, I guess you can give him a little bit of a pass. But there were multiple plays again that if I went back, and I did go back and watch, I'm sitting there and I'm like, dude, the effort is just not there. And it's just like he sees somebody and you can see him like, Olay, you know what I mean? And you're like, dude, just put your shoulder down, right? And then it comes, you come to find out after the game that he finally like discloses what happened at his house. And he's like, oh yeah, a wall mount fell on my head.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? And then they ask him, do you think that was your last home game in Dallas? And he's like, yeah. Right. So like, obviously,
hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, like, but what I'm saying is like this entire season, there has been so many weird, odd things, and like, yeah, of course, like when the season starts,
I still don't believe the TV thing, bro. I don't know.
No, I didn't think so. No, 100%.
I think there was a beef with the coach. I think that because even Shoddy mentioned that last week when he didn't play. He's coming along like he's understanding. He made a comment where it sounded like Stiggs is just not a fan of this defense. But you know what? We had Zimmer last year, and he played just as bad last year in that. So I'm done with him. And I'm done with paying corners a lot of money. And I brought that up. We have two of the top 6 highest paid corners in the NFL, and it means nothing. It means nothing.
No. And so now, like, while the Cowboys fan base, right, they get on certain people about, well, I say certain people, it's Jerry Jones, right? They're like, I can't believe you didn't pay him, or you're dragging your ass to pay him, and you're dragging your feet to pay him.
You do that.
No. I'm talking about no, not just me. I'm there's a million people.
I know.
No, what I'm saying is what I'm saying is we're always clamoring for them to get things done, right? Like, as soon as the season's over, the first thing that people are going to say, lock down George Pickens, because if you don't, we're the same old Cowboys, right? And we're dragging our feet. We're going to wait and wait and wait. What I'm saying is now you have a little bit of substance behind Jerry's hesitation to pay certain people.
Yeah.
Going forward, I'm saying, because right now, just like you mentioned, they paid Diggs early. How'd that work out? They paid Bland. How is that working out? Do I still think Bland could be good? I do. But like right now, he's the best ability is availability, and he's not available, right? So like for Jerry to drag his feet when paying guys going forward, I'm not going to give him so much shit anymore. Unless he's the all-pro, like George Pickens, he just got, selected to Pro Bowl. I think Pro Bowl is kind of lame right now, but I'm saying, like, if he's an all-pro, which he should be, right? If he's an all-pro, then yes, you absolutely lock that dude down, right? You get that, or at least franchise tag him and tell him, like, hey, man, by October, we got you. We just got to figure some shit out, but we're going to franchise tag you for now, whatever. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to like, ooh, I don't know, man, this guy's contract up, and you're talking about guys like, I don't know, Dante Fowler or whatever, sign him for a year. Would you like to bring him back? Sure, I would like to bring him back. Why not? But what I'm saying is, if you don't, let's not beat down Jerry Jones. Maybe there's something a little bit more layered.
I don't think the only player I can think of right now is the only player I can think of right now is Pickens. All the rest of them, he doesn't need to do anything with. And even with Pickens, you got to be careful. I mean, the guys he's got, I love him. And you know how much I love him. We bring it up on the show all the time, how I thought he was the best receiver in the NFL last year, but I meant, we all know how the mental mistakes that he makes a lot. So you got to be careful with that. And, you always get this with receivers, right? Everybody wonders why, we got a third round, like Steelers just got rid of him, and you see the talent he is. There's something behind that. You got to look at that. You just have to. And then you always see when a receiver like that, and Terrell Owens is one like that, and maybe you can even say DK Metcalf, like receivers that, you know what I mean, that get into it in the locker room or whatever, even Antonio, whoever it is. Whenever they go to Antonio Brown, you can use too. Whenever they go to the team at first, they're on good behavior. And it's usually for a season or two before shit starts happening. T.O. did it. Antonio Brown did it on the Bucs. I meant, it just, I meant they're saying, see, it's not me. But then you realize, okay, this is what they were talking about when they start acting up.
And I think that's a little bit of a tired argument sometimes, like, for instance, Pickens, all-world receiver, over 1,000 yards this year, was one of the, he's one of the bigger impact players on this team. But amazing. as soon as he has that one game where they're like, there he is, I told you. Like, come
Detroit,
on. Like,
the Detroit game, they did that already at Detroit.
I know, but I'm just saying, like shut your mouth. You know what I mean?
I agree. He's done way more good than that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And you do lock down a guy like that.
So with him, do you franchise him, or do you, because that's the thing. All these agents, they always want long-term deals. Like, even if they're like, we'll give him a 2-year deal. No. He wants a 5-year deal. It's like,
well, I don't think it's more about length. I think it's more about like the guarantee, right? So even if it was a 4-year deal, he's going to want that like front loaded with a bunch of signing bonus and all this other shit. And I get that. Like, and look, the Cowboys, if you go on any of these websites, which again, the cap is a weird finicky thing. It goes up every year. There's gymnastics you can do to make room and do all this shit. But right now the Cowboys look like they're like going into this net off season. They're like, shit, we're broke. Right. And they're broke because of contracts like Dak Prescott. And like, they have big time hits. And I think that Dak is going to be more than willing to restructure, kick the can down the road. Because look, right now, Dak Prescott's 32 years old, right? He's going to fit, to me, at least this is just my opinion. He's going to finish his career in Dallas, right? So they'll keep doing their thing to make it right, financially work, so they can do certain things. Like, just keep in mind of the players that we did get on the cheap that probably won't be as cheap next year, like Javonte Williams. He's a 1,000-yard rusher. First time he's ever done that in his career. We got him for nothing. So you look at a guy like that and you're like, oh shit. All right, so he's going to warrant a little bit more, maybe not a lot more, but a little bit. But dude,
really quick, I was trying to remember and I didn't get to go back and look. The defensive free agents we got besides Kenneth Murray, who else? Wasn't there a Saints defensive end we got?
Peyton Turner?
Yeah, right? What happened to him?
Injured off the rock, just kind of bounced around the IRs and shit.
Dude, you want to talk about strike? I know we bring out Clowney, but we got him in season. I'm talking about when the free agents were around. Like, did we strike out on defense any worse?
Dude, I'm talking now, not only free agents.
Wow.
Well, not even free agents, Keith. We traded a 7th for Elam, and he didn't last the entire year. We cut him.
Fuck, that too, yeah.
So it's like there has been some malpractice within the organization as far as the GM and
with
Jerry.
the defense, dude. We
with
need
the defense, right?
It sucks too because we had Quinn for a couple of years, then you have Zimmer, now you have a Barfilis, and it's like there's no continuity. Like that now we're going to change the defense again next year, and it's like just get a young guy. I want a young guy, and I said this before, and Brett's like Al Harris. Not even Al Harris. I want somebody I never heard of. I want somebody who like nobody. I know Ben Johnson's a offensive coordinator, but nobody knew Ben Johnson before he got to the fucking Detroit Lions as the offensive coordinator. I want that kind of defensive coordinator, somebody young, somebody, I don't care who it is, to take advantage of the talent that we need to get, and they need to evaluate this whole defense. Kenneth Murray needs to be gone. He has to be gone.
Yeah,
he's Damone Clark, as bad as him as a linebacker. See you later. I still can't gauge this Wilson kid. I don't know about him.
It's funny
because you bring up the Bengals, right? And it's like he didn't play this year. Well, he did play last year, and they had one of the worst defenses last year. So I don't even know if he's good. All right, so let me ask you a question, Sturch. Who do you bring back from the defense right now? Who do you bring back?
Well, I'll tell you who's going to be back based off of contracts.
Who would you bring back? Just who would you bring back if you could?
Quinnen Williams.
Right.
Obviously the kid we trade. I'm drawing a blank. Kenny Clark.
Mm-hmm.
Osa. All three D tackles. They're all in house. I like them. Stay.
All right.
DeMarion Overshown. Now, while Brett has been banging on the table for this guy for as long as we've had him, the jury's still not, like, I'm not sure yet. Right now, I used to be like, dude, guy's a hawk. He's everywhere, like, blah, blah, blah. But it's very hard. Just like you said about Logan Wilson, when you're looking at a bad defense, you're like, how good could he be? So now you're looking at the Cowboys' bad defense with a guy like Overshown, and you're like, maybe not,
I agree.
And it sucks because you love the kid. The story's amazing, and, the comeback trail and all that shit. And I get all that. And it's going to be great for his book, right? To me, those three defensive tackles in the front, if you could bring back
the question though, right? With the defensive tackles, but I meant, why is it? I mean, he didn't play this game now.
Quinnen, no,
yeah, he didn't play this game, so that had something to do with it, sure. But I'm with you on those three, and then obviously the young kid, pass rusher, 41,
Donovan Izaraku, bring him back. I mean, he's a rookie. He's a rookie anyway. He's a second-year guy next year. So yes,
But that's all for me. I'm done.
But that's what I'm saying. If you look behind the front,
maybe Overshown, those 5. That's it. Everybody else, even though I love Fowler, I think he's had a good career. But everybody else, boom, gone. See you later. Let's see what we can get in free agents and draft. And that's it.
I think, and again, he got toasted. Well, not even toasted. Just didn't turn around fast enough, but there's something to Revel, I think, right? And I don't want to say this guy stinks. You know what I mean? He's been kind of tossed in there because of all the injuries and everything else is happening, and he was injured half the year, right? So we really don't have a training camp with this kid. So I would I welcome him back next year.
Absolutely.
The safety position.
Yeah.
Safeties, I'm like, all right, you like guys like Hooker. You like guys, sometimes Donovan Wilson is, he'll lay the wood.
Yeah.
But they're not worth hanging on to for dear life, right?
For a lot of money, no.
No. And so that's kind of crazy how, like.
You know what it is? What I'm getting from this is, all right, so the rookie class, Revel and Izrakarbu, whatever the hell his name is,
Izraku, yeah.
Izra. A lot of these rookies, we don't count them as far as getting rid of them because they're still young. You know, they're getting play time. You know what I mean? They're still learning. So I agree with you on that. Now, as far as veterans go, so when I pose this question again, with the only veterans on our team that you would want to keep,
like I said,
those
three defensive tackles and
veterans,
and maybe.
I mean, does Luafo count? I mean, I don't even know. I mean, I don't understand what's going on with him.
That's another one that you're just like, you have all this preseason hype about the kid, right? And he's he's going to be the guy this year. He's going to take that leap. But like, there has to, again, we're never going to know what goes on behind closed doors as far as coach, player. But like, there's got to be something there that like we're nobody's seeing that we're like, dude, what did he do wrong? You know what I mean? Like a doghouse type situation, not like a performance thing. The guy can't get on the field a lot, So would I keep him under a new defensive coordinator? Maybe. But to your point before,
I would
keep him. Yeah. But what I'm saying, to your point before about defensive coordinator, right? The good thing about the unknown guy, whoever he may be, is that there's no expectations, right? So like, when you get a guy like Eberflus and you get a guy like Zimmer and you get a guy like Dan Quinn and all these guys, the expectation is, oh, they're a defensive specialist. They're good. Look at their defense. They even got a head coaching job over how good they were. But let's all remember, guys, Eberflus was fired, right? They let him go for a reason. And in 1 year, Ben Johnson has turned the Bears into a powerhouse all of a sudden, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, so to your point, the expectations of these coordinators when we bring them all in because they got name value and they got like, this scheme and he's from this coaching tree and this, that, and the third. Like none of that shit matters anymore because you don't have continuity. You just don't. Like you've gotten rid of all these coordinators over time. Scapegoats. Guys, guess what? Guess who's a really good coach all of a sudden in the last 4 games? All of a sudden that piss poor New Orleans Saints team, they look pretty damn good. Who's the coach? Kellen Moore, right? So it's like, so you're looking around the league and you're like, shit, like we had that guy. I mean, I'm not talking about the offense. I'm talking about like just in general. We have these guys, they come in, they try to insert their dominance based off of, hey, this is how I did it and this is how it worked. Guess what? When Sean McVay came into the league and took the world by fire and Shanahan and all these kids, the younger coaches, when they started coming in, people were like, they're re-revolutionizing the offense, right?
Yeah.
There hasn't been one like, all right, for instance, I'll give you one example of a defensive coach that was lights out defensive coach turned into a great head coach recently is D'Amico Ryans over in Houston.
Yeah.
That team is balling for that guy, and he's a defensive specialist and that defense is amazing, right?
Yeah.
So
good, yeah.
All these guys that have come in and have left their stamp on their teams or their previous teams or whatever, to your point.
But even DeMarco, nobody really knew him when he got to the Texans. Like,
well, I knew him as the guy that took over for Sal.
You always get the defensive coordinators where you've heard the name before. Like, for example, we could just go back from Wade Phillips to Monty Kiffin to Rod Marinelli to after Rod Marinelli, Mike Nolan. After Mike Nolan, you had Dan Quinn. After Dan Quinn, you had Zimmer. After Zimmer, you get Abarfalis. And it's like, but that's my point. Like, that's who I want. I don't want those guys. I don't want to hear the name. Oh, he was the head coach of the Bears. He was a defensive coordinator. He was a great defensive coordinator on Seattle, Dan Quinn. Oh, Kiffin was awesome with the Bucs. Oh, Rod Marinelli was awesome with the Bucs. Like they all have this background, but like you were saying, offenses are changing. Young minds are coming up. We need a young, like a DeMarco Ryans, right? That's how you say his name? DeMarco Ryans.
Ryans, yeah.
DeMarco, yeah. Somebody like him. Like somebody that's who I want as a defensive coordinator. And like you said, Sturch, I agree. Somebody that you don't have we don't know how this guy's going to be. Like as soon as you hear, hey, we got Zimmer, bro. Hey, it's the last time we had a number one defense was when Zimmer was there in 2003, which is true. So last time we had a number one defense. So we're all excited. And it's like, go young.
Yeah, go grab the defensive coordinator from like Ohio State or some shit. You know what I mean? Like from somebody who has a name Bill Smith and nobody knows who the fuck he is. And you're like, hey, you know what? Give it a shot. We're going to give you these pieces. We're going to build you off a defensive line. We're going to give you at least, we got 2 first-round picks. We're going to at least give you one of them to evaluate somebody, bring them in, corner, edge, linebacker, whatever. Like, rebuild this way. Because you just don't want to keep doing the same. You've literally done the definition of insanity for the last 30 years, right? You've brought in all these names. You bring all these and then of course what happens is when you go to Dallas, you get a little recognition based off the star and the brand and shit like that. And some guys leave and they stink. 9 times out of 10 when they leave, they're actually pretty good somewhere else, which is
Lawrence right now, bro.
Dude, don't get me started, bro.
Did you see him and Parsons both? But him and Parsons both made the Pro Bowl. Those are our DNs last year.
I was just going to say that. I'm like, the Pro Bowl selections come out, and they're like, DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons. Obviously, Parsons gone for the year, but you look at him, you're like, under Parsons, Packers, under Lawrence, Seahawks. And you're just like, we just had him. It's like, so there is something to not being able to play under these fossil of coaches. Speaking of I'm fossil, by the way, Bones Fossil with the fucking special teams. Another one. Oh, he's got this lineage. Yeah. Okay, cool. We didn't do shit with Fossil.
Like I could see us signing someone like Spags.
Oh God.
Like somebody but that's the direction he always goes. That everyone's talking about Rex Ryan. I know you that because Rex Ryan is lobbying for this defense. He's been.
Yeah,
that's another one that exactly. I mean, I do like his personality, but I bet, the way he is, and I know his defenses were lights out with the Jets, but once again, I just don't want to go down that fucking road again. I just don't.
Again,
and he's Buddy Ryan's kid, and I hate Buddy Ryan.
But to your point.
And Rob Ryan, who was woof.
Oh my God. The Ryan brothers can both go scratch because, dude, just to your point, like if Rex Ryan was such a defensive genius right now to this day, he wouldn't be on ESPN's Get Up. You know what I mean? Like he would be employed somewhere, even if it was a fucking JV high school. He'd be somewhere. Don't tell me. And like, yes, we know his lineage of being a good defensive guru, but like, let's also call it how it is. I don't want the guy because every time I turn on this stupid channel, he's like, yeah, not for nothing, but these guys fucking suck. I'm just like, yes, we know we're allowed to say that, but just shut your fucking pie hole for a second. And let's go get a snack. But so again, the defense, there's so much to navigate through with this team because then again, you have 2 games left, right? This week, Christmas Day, they got the Washington Commanders. They're going to be playing. I don't know. Who the fuck is Mariota's backup who came in the other day? Josh Dobbs. That'll be fun. Or Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson, not Dobbs. We've lost to them both, so it doesn't matter.
What, Mariota's not playing?
I mean, even if he does, what I'm saying is like
it doesn't matter.
Mariota's going to be
for some reason. I don't know why. Josh Johnson. I just feel he's just gonna fucking light us up. It doesn't matter who it is now. Yeah.
But what's funny is Mariota or Josh Johnson, whoever it is on Christmas, is going to turn into Matt Flynn, meaning like, whoa, what a performance. And then he gets a 1-year deal and gets set for life because he just beat the shit out of the Cowboys on Christmas. Because that's usually how it goes, right? Cole's Cowboys said it best before. He said, you need a good get-it-right game? Come on down to Dallas. We'll show you a good time.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
There's no, we're not lying, right? The proof's in the pudding. So now, look, it's established. Defense is the problem, the coordinator, the problem, the personnel, a lot of the problem, right? There's guys that were just like, dude, just get out of here. Thanks for coming. You did your best, but it's over. So now I raised the question, we're going to finish either, could be at best 8-8-1, at worst 6-10-1, maybe somewhere in the middle 7-9-1, whatever. Right? Right now we're sitting around like the 13th pick in the draft, blah blah blah, and then we can wait for the Packers, which is great because as the Packers collapse, that's our pick. So keep on collapsing.
Yes.
So that works out. But so noticing that we both agreed that maybe like 4 or 5 guys on defense, including like a lot of the younger guys, are back, right? And then you look across the ball and you have the offense that was humming at certain points of the season. Dak Prescott playing his best year, 2,000-yard guys on the outside, Javonte running his balls off. Like even role players, like the ceiling for Flournoy is unbelievably high now, right? Or low now, and he can just crash through that bitch. So there is, and Ferg has had his issues. You might want to address that going forward. You signed him, so like you gotta maybe get a better backup or span forward or whatever. But what I'm saying is, you have this offense that can score points. You have a defense now that is kind of like, we don't want any of you guys, right? In the grand scheme. So like, how do you, the fan, or I'm not asking you particularly because you and I and Brett are completely different, but how does the fan get optimistic that this doesn't turn into some kind of actual rebuild now? Because it's like, you have the offense, you're paying all these guys. Like, how do you not consider this a rebuild when the defense is that bad?
You mean for next season?
Yeah.
Or this season?
No, next year coming up.
No, there's no rebuild. I mean, dude, if they could roll back that offense and just have an average defense, the team can go far. I'm sorry. If they just had a slightly below average defense, we'd be in the playoffs. We got to fix the defense and just bring the offense back, bring everything back from the offense. I get it. People are complaining about Terrence Steele. People are complaining about Ferg and his yak, because I guess his yards after catch have been awful.
And he's been putting the ball on the carpet a little bit.
And yeah, but you know what? I refuse to come down on the offense this season about anything. I just do.
No.
Because as bad as the defense has been, that's all I want to talk about. Because the offense, the only reason we won any of these games, we have 6 wins, is because of our offense. We would have more if our defense didn't suck so bad. So, I'm okay with I'm okay with them bringing everyone back on that offense next season. Every single person I'm okay with. That's my defense, though. Like I said, is a whole nother story. So,
and it starts obviously up front, right? We, for whatever reason, once again, Ed Warner, I think, put out the stat, or somebody put out the stat. Maybe I sent it to you guys. Maybe I just saw it and wanted to throw my phone. But like, all season long, Justin Herbert was the biggest pressured quarterback in the league. The Chargers came in with their 4th and 5th tackles.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't get home.
Exactly. And I believe it's the first time he wasn't sacked all season.
How?
Yeah.
Like how? Like I look at the Jets, and I'm not trying to compare, but I'm saying I look at the Jets. They hired Aaron Glenn, who is a corner, a very good corner at that, and he did great in Detroit. They don't have a pick, not one.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah.
How, like, again, like my father says all the time about the Super Bowls, for 30 years, you would think we would have won one by accident. Like, oops, I can't believe they did this, right?
Yeah.
You look at this defensive line, and it's like, how? So, like, am I a fan of Izaraku? Am I a fan of the defensive, the tackles? Yes. Do I think we need another edge rusher? Yeah, but like, does this at all trigger you in the back of your mind? Like, fuck, if we would have just, and again, hindsight, Parsons gets hurt. But if we had Parsons, do you think this? No,
I think it's the same thing. I mean, it would be a little better with pressure, but like I bet we had him and Lawrence last year, and we still were last with rushing.
Yeah.
So I think it's a bigger picture here, man. I do. I just think I think it's other players that are on the team. It's definitely our scheme with the Barfless. I mean, I'm not a fan of any. That's why you brought up the 3D linemen. I'm like, I get that, and I get Clark, Double O, and Quentin. I understand that, but even when they were, I mean, they couldn't get to Goff. Barely got to Goff when they were all in there. So I meant maybe Osa isn't that good, buddy. I don't know. Maybe he's not. I don't know. I'm not saying he's not. Maybe he's not that player we think he is, if that makes sense.
Well, to me, just again, thinking on broader picture, a guy like Osa can only benefit from having guys like Kenny Clark and Quentin, right? So like, I still believe that Osa could be a very big, impactful player on this team.
But I hope. But I meant what you would think those three together, what they should have been generating a lot more, and it just didn't feel like they were. And I know Quentin. It's unfair with Quentin, because I mean, for them in this last game with the Chargers, but you just brought up yourself. They had backup offensive linemen. I mean, you can't take advantage of that.
Well, you could if you absolutely could if you send, I don't know, pressure.
No, but did you read that? Did you read that? We had more blitz packages than we ever had all season in this game. I read that too, which is crazy that we couldn't get to them. I know, right? And I don't know what the fuck is going on. I mean, like I said, I think whoever starts quarterback is going to. All right, so let's get into this game now.
Yeah,
let's get into the Washington game and pick it.
Sure, it's going to be a beautiful Christmas. People are going to be opening their gifts. You get to watch this game at 10 o'clock in the morning while you're sipping your morning coffee. For this, look, and I've always said this, and I stand on this hill because that's just the way I fan. I'm not Mr. And you guys are very similar to me. Like, we're not like, hey, just lose them all for the pick. I think by default, we're going to lose games down the stretch. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not have to root for them to lose. It's just going to happen. So but with this game, the Washington Commanders, it's a friggin' rivalry game. It's Christmas Day. And I go back to what Dak was saying in the post game last week, like for guys that are trying to like rally for the last 2 weeks. And he's like, dude, you know how hard it is to get to this league. Like, don't cheat the game, man. Just go out there and ball out. Do your job. Just do whatever it is that you can do to try to win a game.
Yeah.
And I think just based off the way I've been watching Washington and, the way I've seen the Cowboys operate, they should be okay this week. And I think they will handle business. Now, I know we had a brief discussion last night in which, you put a pretty high percentage that Joe Milton was going to go.
85%, I said.
I just...
And I shook the text. I shook it.
Yeah, dude, you had me going. I was like, what is happening? This fucking iPhones and shit are like, oh, the text is just like making my eyes go cross. But I look at this and I say this. I said, Dak Prescott has always been a gamer. He has always been the guy to lead us out. And again, say what you will about the playoff wins and he's not Jalen Hurts. Like, okay, great. It's all a tired point at this point with all the anti-Dak people. There's so many Cowboys fans that were commenting on my shit over the week on Twitter saying like, he ain't it. Dak ain't it. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, guy, like one guy was like, he's boring. And I'm like, boring? Guy leads the league in passing. How's that fucking boring? What are we talking about here?
Juggle or something? What the fuck's he want him to do? What do you mean boring?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, he's a choke artist. When the pressure's on, he's horrible.
The games. Those are people that just don't watch. They watch highlights. They listen to other people. Those are people I just can't have discussions with. And me being a harsh critic on Dak, I go back and forth. I waver. I'm not going to lie. In the beginning of the season, I did not think he was the guy. Boy, was I fucking wrong. He was amazing this year and props to him, but I'm going to call it like I see it. And I'm not just going to say, oh, this guy is awesome because he's my quarterback. But if he is playing good and the rest of the team isn't, I don't know how these people are just coming after him. It makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Give the guy his credit. I'm giving him his credit. Okay. He's played amazing this year. I do believe in Dak now. I think maybe he's seeing it. I've come back. He might be in the Matrix, and I'm looking forward to him in the next seasons to come.
Yeah.
But that being said, and that's the thing. You got to distinguish the two, right? It's just because I want to see Joe Milton, just because I want to see players in there, doesn't mean I don't want to win. I still want to win. I'm still rooting for them, but I'm also want to think about being proactive for next season. And being proactive for next season right now has to do with us getting other players in the game right now. Give Milton a chance to play with the starters. Maybe not CeeDee Lamb. I don't think CeeDee should be out there because he was injured this year. But have him throw to Pickens, Flournoy, and maybe Tolbert or whoever the hell you want to throw in there. To have him throw to Fergie. Have him hand off to Williams. Let's see what he could do, so we see if we actually have a good backup on our hands for next season. I mean, why not? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
evaluation. Listen,
and I'm still going to be cheering. I don't want to lose. I'm with you. I don't give a fuck if our pick is the 9th or the 15th, whatever. I want to win, but I also want to win next year. And in order to do that, we have to evaluate talent now. You see what I'm saying?
And you're looking at the backup quarterback position as something we have to evaluate right now.
Even some of the other receivers, get them in there. You know, we know Tolbert. Who else do we have?
You got the famous Jonathan Mingo.
You got Mingo. You got players that haven't played. Let them come in. Let them fucking get in the game.
And maybe you will. And maybe,
as a matter of fact, don't start Fergie. Put Shoemaker and Ford in. Like, put these guys in because this is the starting team. I mean, he's not really playing with preseason guys. These are teams that made the roster.
Yeah.
So and that's a step up from what Milton played with in preseason, which were a bunch of guys that didn't make the team. These guys made the team. So it's not like they're scrubs. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it would be good to see that. And here I am talking about the offense where it shouldn't change. I said that before. You know, I should be just talking about the defense, but I am very interested in what Milton can do with players that made the team. And on the flip side, defense, I flipped that whole fucking thing, bro, because it's not working with who's there. I don't know what they can do. I don't know how they can do it. I don't know who they can bring up from the practice squad, but I'd start putting different players in. I would even have a Barfilis do the defense. I'd have White Cotton. But no, seriously, I'd have him. Hey, let's see what you got. Let's see if you can run.
Listen, I lobbied for that last week, and Jerry doesn't want to make any kind of radical decisions in season, whatever. Fine, like it's to the point now.
But we don't know, right? What I'm saying, we don't know if Jennings is playing. I mean, Quentin's playing. Is he playing?
I mean, it was a concussion, so I want to assume he's good to go. Like, the practices are what's today? I guess they're really kind of this short week. That's another problem. Short week, so maybe not. But yeah, like I agree with you in regards to, hey, let's see what we got out there. Let's see if there's any hidden gems that, like, hey, we forgot about this guy, and oh, by the way, he's okay, and this, that, and the third. I know, like, if I know what I know about Jerry and what I know about Dak, there won't be a time in the Washington game. I said this in a text. There won't be a time in the Washington game where you see Joe Milton unless we're up 20 late in the fourth or down 20 late in the fourth. And that's the only time. That's the only time I would say, all right, Joe, get in there and see what you got.
And look, and maybe, and this is something maybe, and I know it might be tough for Dak, but to be the very first Dallas Cowboy to lead the league in passing yards, meaning Don Meredith never did it. Craig Morton never did it. Roger Staubach never did it. Shockingly, Danny White never did it. Tony Romo never did it. Troy Aikman never did it. Dak Prescott can be the first Dallas Cowboy to lead the league in passing. And you don't think, I know people don't play, for stats and stuff like that. Something, especially true leaders. You look at Saquon, who took himself out the last game of the year because he's like, I don't need to break the record. Remember when he said that? That just shows you the kind of guy he is. And Dak could be that way too, where he's like, look, you guys do what you got to do. I'd rather not go into the season with an injury, end the season with an injury. Because you got to think, bro, we didn't have Dak till when? He missed all the camps. Yeah, because of his injury last year. If we can have him healthy going into everything next season with this same offense, I mean, that's something to look at too, right?
So yeah, 100%, because the way I look at it is I look at it very similar to the Kansas City Chiefs. Like you said, they're a bad team now, and they just look a little shittier than normal, right? But think about it like this. The goal for Patrick Mahomes is to get back for the first week of the year next year. We don't know if that's going to happen, right? Like, so, and because he got hurt so late. So yeah, do I want to, in theory, do I want Dak Prescott to be in bubble wrap for the next 2 weeks so we can go into next season just 100% healthy? Yeah, it makes sense, right? If you want to roll out this offense again for next year and you get Pickens back and you maybe bring back Javonte and you get all these guys. Yeah, do I want Dak to be 100% healthy? Yes. But you gotta know the guy's a prideful dude. I don't think he's looking for any records, to be honest with you. That's just me. But like, I guarantee you that he probably said to Shotty, hey, look, I'm available, I'm healthy, I'm willing to play, but do whatever you got to do.
Exactly, and that's
that's the pro. That's the pro in Dak.
Yeah, no, for sure. And here's my thing with Milton. The reason why I want, because just imagine this, okay? Let's set up a scenario real quick. Mm-hmm. Dak finishes season, Joe Milton doesn't get in. Next year, say third game, Dak gets a concussion or a minor injury where he's out for 2 or 3 weeks. Joe Milton comes in and just sucks, and we're like, why didn't we get another backup quarterback? Why couldn't we figure this out? This is what I'm talking about. I'm thinking of next season. I want to see what he can do with players that made the team. That's
my honest gut tells me we're drafting a quarterback next year.
All right.
Somewhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I know we don't have a lot of draft picks.
Going to be available. You know who's going to be available next year?
Oh Christ! Is he young or old?
Oh, Cooper Rush. The Ravens. He
got
can't
ran
even
out of
see the
town.
field.
What happened there?
Dude, that. All right. I take it back. Kenneth Murray is the second worst free agent signing. Cooper Rush going to the Ravens still makes absolutely no fucking sense in that offense. None whatsoever.
Zero, bro. And it's so funny because, like, normally when you bring in a backup, that can run the same scheme. So when they're like, oh, Cooper Rush agreed to a deal, I'm like, where the fuck is he running? Like, what do you mean? Yeah. And then on top of that, not for nothing, but like Lamar goes down the other night. They're like, here comes Snoop Huntley. And I'm like, well, that makes sense. Like,
I forgot Rush was on the team when that happened. I'm like,
they said that on the broadcast. And I was like, wait, where's Rush? So, yeah, I mean, look, I think there's going to be some kind of addressing of the quarterback position in the offseason on top of having Milton as well. So, yes, do I think that the evaluation should definitely, like, look, man, if you want to say, like, hey, Dak, go play the first half on Christmas, let the kids who came out here to see and pay to see you, because there's nothing worse than, like, this isn't the NBA when all of a sudden they go to a Lakers game on a Thursday and they're like, well, LeBron said, it's like, what? You just played 2 nights ago. You know what I mean? So this isn't load management when it comes to Dak Prescott. This is just like, hey, man, go out there, sling it around the field, play a half, put your hat on, kiss some babies, fucking sign some autographs, and go home. I'm cool with that. Normally, I'd be like, no, Dak in there all the time. But now we are literally 2 games away from being done, right, for the year. And I would I don't know if I would be able to live with myself if something were to happen to our star quarterback in the final meaningless 2 weeks. That's a very bad pill to swallow. It's bad enough that last week when the Cowboys were playing, I'm playing Dak Prescott in my semifinal match in fantasy. And I'm like, he's like, touchdown to Pickens. I'm like, yeah, fuck. Like, it was the worst feeling in the world, by the way, which I'm in the championship, so we're good. So it's just, it's been a wonky year, man. And, we're going to round it out with Christmas. And then for the first time, maybe in 20 years, maybe a little less. I used to go to every single, no matter what the records were, no matter who the quarterback was, I went to every single Cowboys-Giants game in Giant Stadium. I don't know if I want to just.
You gotta go, buddy. You have to, man. Come on.
Here's my dilemma. This
is when the team needs you, bro.
This is my dilemma here. It's not really a dilemma. It's just more like a decision. And obviously, business-wise, I've done pretty good, and I'm guaranteeing myself some money for fantasy. So I got some loose change laying around, right?
Okay.
Tickets right now for the Giants-Dallas game, if you want to get in the building, you can get in the building for like $28. No bullshit, right? So it's like it's not a money thing.
All right.
But in my mind, to pay like $250, hear me out, like $250, and you're basically sitting on the fucking Cowboys bench, would you do it?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking too. I'm like, you know what? Like, Dak's going to be there. He's going to make the trip, right? Like, all the guys, even if they're not dressed, they're going to still be there. You could be that close to your team that you love so much, right? And in a shouting distance, too. So if they want to hear me, like if I see Trayvon, I'm like, yo, slide in my DMs now, but like, I just.
No. Well, that's the thing. You're there. Your brother's there. You guys are there. You guys are cheering that. Look, as players, and they see that gets them amped. Like, look at it. These people are here to see us. Come on, let's go. Let's play. Look, they're here to see that. You know what I mean? So
I got a brand new, like, chalk line, old school starter Cowboys jacket that's just willing to be broken in. And I think
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying I think I'm going to break. If I do go, that's what I wear. Like, got the stars on the shoulder. It's like, it's old school shit. It's very pimp.
So let's just touch, and then we could do our picks. All right. But let's touch on the DK Metcalf thing, because that really bothers me. I get it. He got suspended. He shouldn't have walked over there. But what are they doing to that guy? Like that dude should be banned. I don't believe he said the N-word or any of that shit. I'm not buying that, but I don't know. People around him said no. But whatever, he said something to piss DK Metcalf off, and that's all that matters. They should ban that motherfucker from the stadium for at least they got to start stepping up to these fans, because these players, I mean, they're saying what they want. They're saying, I believe what the guy said. He called him by his original name or whatever. But why are you doing that? Like, Metcalf is, he gets angry easy. Why are you provoking? Just shut the fuck up and watch the game like a regular person.
So my thing is, and we all, you're a sports fan. You obviously remember like Malice at the Palace, right? In Detroit, where fucking Ron Artest and everybody's just, they're literally fighting fans, right? And it's just this fucking horrific black eye on sports, right? It's horrific. Now, when I saw it in real time because I'm watching it with my old man because we're watching the Red Zone and shit. And I see it in real time. They're like, look what happens over here. And I watch it and I was like, oh shit. And I look at my dad. I'm like, did you just fucking like yoke a fan? Like, I'm like, oh my God, like that's horrific. Now that's what I said at the moment. I also am in the mindset, or at least I do, on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok and all these social media platforms where if you put out a take and you get roasted by the community, fine. If you want to get roasted and say like, I disagree. I think this guy should play, or I think they should run this route and all this other shit. But 9 times out of 10, the comments that come back are like personal jabs and insults. And I always said to everybody, I said, look, if you like 9 times out of 10, the shit that you say to me online, you would not say if standing in front of me.
Absolutely right.
Never. And I've said that a million times about a lot of people. And there's a lot of people that might be watching this right now that I could be like, hey, you're one of them, right?
Yeah.
So with DK Metcalf, that situation that popped up, obviously he's a professional. He's got to be a professional, right? He's got to conduct himself in a way. Now, if this fan now apparently has a history with this guy, dating back to Seattle. So if this guy just shows up again, and he becomes Randy Quaid, right? He's following him everywhere, just barking at him. I'm in the mindset, and again, this is not the right mindset, but like I'm in the mindset of DK saying, you know what? Come here, motherfucker. And like again, he's a fan, but let's also say that the NFL players are not fucking circus animals either, right?
Exactly.
They're people. They're people.
No, I agree.
Like,
I agree.
If you talk shit, you get hit. That's
now, here's the thing.
If you want to say it from the fucking 300s, like, hey, man, you stink. They're going to be like, hey, all right, fuck you. Who cares? But you're right there, and you have the balls and the gall to say something. You should get fucking yoked up.
This kid obviously said something personal to him, whatever it was, okay? So, and when I say that, I go to a game, I talk shit, but I'm having fun. I'm not pinpointing a player and going after that one player and saying mean things to him or about him or his whatever. No, I'll say it as a whole. You guys suck, whatever, that kind of stuff. But when you go directly at a person personally, that takes it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
It's just, so my whole thing is though, I want to see something happen to the fan. I want to see.
So they suspended DK in a time where the Steelers actually have to win the rest of the way. Right. So that's a big no. It sucks. It sucks for DK Metcalf. But they got to. I'm also kind of team DK Metcalf here. I'm sorry.
No, so am I. But they got to set a precedent to these fans and let them know that you can't be doing shit like this. Like he gets banned, guaranteed the next person that's there and wants to start running their mouth to a player personally, he'll second guess it saying, "Oh no, I like coming to the games." Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't. I don't want to do
too
that,
far. Keith. I don't think we're too far away from like look at the sports. You got hockey. There's glass everywhere. You can't like whatever. Baseball now. There's netting around the place because foul balls might kill you. The NBA, I'll never understand. Those dudes are legitimately sitting on the bench, which I'm like, what's stopping these guys from getting up and just fucking, doing whatever? Like, hey, Spike Lee, come here. You know what I mean? Like, they're all there in front of you. So, like, I don't think before we're in the grave, I don't think I think we live in a time where the fans are going to be pushed back farther away from live action, which sucks for the viewpoint. And that's why you pay all these big bucks to go. But also, to your point, there's got to be some kind of conduct. I mean, look, you're not allowed to throw anything on the field and all this other shit. You get kicked out. Bro, I've said some shit and you've said some shit at games. I've said some shit at Yankee games that got me legitimately said, hey, this guy, you're done. You're out. Just because of like certain words I may have dropped. Nothing like too crazy. But like, if you say it around kids and you're drunk and shit like that, dude, get rid of this guy.
Yeah.
When you come at a player and the player's right there and you're basically like, yeah, come here. DK was like, all right, bet. And he went over there and he almost snatched his soul from his body. So like I'm sitting there, I'm like, Go do you, DK. Do your thing, dude. It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you like $500,000, but fuck it. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Anyway, let's pick this game. So, again, we got the Cowboys and Commanders coming up on Christmas and just 2 days away. We'll be back next week to break that game down, talk a little bit about the Giants, the season as a whole, and then, we'll see what happens as we go. But listen, I personally think Dak Prescott and company will bounce back in a big way offensively. I don't think the Commanders are the Chargers, nor are they the Eagles or some of the offenses that we play. Detroit, like they're not them.
Are they the Cardinals?
Just let me fucking finish. I think the Cowboys win this game, score 27, and the Commanders score 20. 27-20 Dallas. We get Merry Christmas. Yay. 6, 7, 1, whatever the fuck we're going to be. 7, 7, 8, 7, 8. I don't know, whatever. That's how I got. I got the Cowboys winning this game 27-20. What do you got?
Dude, that's so crazy. We're very similar. So you got them covering. Cowboys are,
what are we, 5-point favorites?
6.5, I think.
On the road.
I go, this is how I look at this. I agree with what you're saying. I think whether it's Joe Milton or Dak Prescott, I think for some reason the offense will be able to move the ball. The thing that scares me with Washington is Rodriguez, is the Merritt kid. They have a pretty damn good running game, and you know how we are against the run. So, and then you got Josh Johnson, who they're probably gonna make that simplify the offense like they did for Jacoby Brissett and McCarthy, where they just throw little check downs and every now and then take a deep shot. So I see Washington scoring points, but for some reason, I think we pull it off 27, like you said, but I say 27-24.
All right. So we don't cover. Is it a stressor, automatic, Aubrey-matic field goal to win it? Or like we're up 27 and they get close and they just can't catch it?
I think it's close most of the game. I think they go back and forth and then we win at the end. Yeah. Right, or it's like 27, or it's 27-21, and then they kick a field goal, and then we just don't, our offense doesn't give them the ball back, something like that.
Hell yeah, D, do your thing. So, I mean, look, they play for each other, Cowboys. Play for the man next to you. Don't play for Eberflus or Barfalus or whatever the fuck Heath calls him. Don't play for that guy. He won't be there next year. Play for each other. If you think that this might be the last 2 games that you play with each other, then fucking go out there and take down a division rival, man. Fucking play for some
I'll bring it up again. I'll bring this up again. And I said it, sometimes when there's no pressure and you just have fun, you play a lot better. And I know it sounds crazy. Yeah, but it does. You free your mind. You're like, hey, what do we got to lose? Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's go out and have a good time. And you know what I mean? And you start playing like your kids again, almost. So I meant
my only defense to that is that last week they were eliminated already. They could have played loose and played well, and they didn't.
Well, they did it. Well, the offense did in the first half.
Offense did in the first half. Second half, they went to sleep, and then like both vice versa. Like defense was okay. Like we gave up some big plays, but then like the wheels fell off, and you're like, what the fuck is happening here?
Yeah.
But it was the first Cowboy game. I will say
that we're not playing a playoff team this time.
I know, but and it's funny is the first Cowboys game that obviously knowing the situation going in, saying like the Philadelphia Eagles won the division, we're out, whatever. It was the first game I was able to just like, I was texting you guys. I was like, haha, look at this fucking defense. You know what I mean? Like,
what's weird?
3 weeks ago, I would have been fucking throwing knives.
Even last year, it was the same thing, I guess. Yeah, we got because remember, there was still a slight chance until we lost to the Bengals by that stupid punt block last year. Remember? But I'm just saying, though, we were still in contention, and then that buried us. But I know,
and there were people, and then
Tampa. Remember, we beat Tampa on Christmas or something.
Well, that was a game that everybody got mad at for, like, when the season was over. They're like, you just had to beat Tampa, right? And our fucking draft spot is over here. I'm like, yes, they had to beat Tampa. Is that okay?
That was a great game. Yeah,
it was a great game.
Yeah.
But
all right.
Anyway, all right, brother. We will head on out. Go Cowboys. Let's get this shit done. Get a win on Christmas, please, for the love of God. Get a win on Christmas. You'll make all my kids happy, and when I say that, they just will see their dad happy, and that's how it all works out. So, Merry Christmas to you, everybody at home. To you,
Merry
Keith.
Christmas and Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah, Hanukkah and Kwanzaa's coming up too, and the New Year.
And the Hanukkah start yet? Did Hanukkah start yet?
Hanukkah's over. You jerk.
Dude, I used to be so jealous of my Jewish friends when they get the present a day, bro.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Dude, that was like, I know we get them all on Christmas, but man, that's so cool to get one present a day. I remember my one friend Ian I had, bro. He's like, he'd show up like, God, he got a go-kart one time. I'm like, God damn it.
Go-karts. Like, aren't you supposed to like spread it out? Like little gift, little gift, little gift.
Right.
Like,
I don't know what day it was, but I remember him like, yeah, I got this. It was like day 7 or some shit. I'm like, God damn it. What are you going to get a jetpack on the next day?
It's like, check me out, everybody. Just like flies off. All right, everybody. Merry Christmas. Enjoy it. Let's go, Cowboys. See you guys next week for the final week of the regular season. Good night, everybody.
Hey, this is Tony Soprano, and you're listening to Jersey Boyz Podcast with your hosts, Dave Sturchio and the Ernst Boys. I mean, I could give a shit about the Cowboys. We're in New Jersey. These guys got balls being Cowboys fans in Jersey. Anyways, enjoy. Or whatever.
How about this, Cowboys?